The first step is to draw some preliminary lines to help visualize where we want to place the main object. In this case, the main object is the eye. At this early stage, we are not concerned with specifics, but rather with obtaining the overall basic shape. We must concentrate on the big picture rather than the details. Drawing simple lines allows us to see the figure's space as well as the area around the main object. And once you've established the overall shape, you can go ahead and add a few more details. Next, you're going to set the base layer. This is going to be your first layer. I used a sky blue color since I'm painting darker skin tone. While you're painting the base layer, it's imperative to consider the values as well. It doesn't matter if you use the right colors for a painting. If your values are off, then the whole painting will be off as well. I let the base layer dry for a few minutes before adding the second layer. In this layer, I'm going to be focusing more on adding the correct tones and colors, while still making sure I'm using the correct values for each part of the piece. This is actually why I prefer setting a base layer rather than going all in with that second layer. I like to use the base layer because it helps me easily identify where I should add the darker tones, the mid-tones, and also the lighter tones. And for this piece, I'm actually using just 3 colors here. I'm using Winsor & Newton's Cadmium Red, Prussian Blue, and Lemon Yellow. I've learned that regardless of the skin tone that you're painting, you only really need those 3 colors to create an accurate portrayal of said subject. And I personally only stick to these 3 colors in my palette, because when I add more colors than this, then I just get so confused and lost and I feel very overwhelmed. So I highly recommend, if you are a beginner in any medium of paint, I highly recommend just sticking with the 3 primary colors, which is red, blue, and yellow. So when you want to create a painting of someone with a darker skin tone, I definitely recommend adding a bit more blue than reds. And if you want to create something with a lighter skin tone, for example, as you can see in the eye, I created a light brown color. That is because I used more yellow than I did blue. I used more yellow and red than I did blue, and so that creates a light brown color. Whereas if you want to get a darker brown, then definitely add a little bit more blue and red. Another tidbit of wisdom that I learned while getting started in watercolor is that when you're painting an eye, the white part of the eye is actually not white. It is actually a combination of a few different colors. In this specific picture here, I'm actually going to create a grayish, bluish tone, just to accentuate the iris and make it seem a little bit more natural than if it were just a flat, plain white. Another piece of advice is don't use black. When you want to create a darker area, or if you want to use black anywhere in your piece, instead of using a pure black paint, just mix your cadmium red or whatever color red you're using with your blue. In this case, I have Prussian blue. Mix those together until you get a very deep purple. I feel that whenever I use a pure black color, whether it's in watercolor or oils, it just takes away from the piece. I feel as though it makes the piece feel a bit more flat, and it takes away some value. So that is why I personally use just that red and blue. So overall, whenever I paint with watercolors, I quite literally only paint with 3 colors: red, blue, and yellow. I really hope this video has benefited someone out there who is excited about getting started with watercolor. If you'd like to see more of my videos, definitely comment, subscribe, and leave a like. Also, I just updated my Patreon page. Each month I will be opening drawing requests as well as behind the scene images and blog posts just of upcoming projects. I'll also be sharing each month work in progress photos only available on my Patreon page. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.